Please vote for the Museum of African American History. Hear your story.
We be the rhythm, hiding deep inside the rhythm. We worship in the church of drums.
These people are very much a part of building this country just as much as my forefathers.
This is not just an American history. This is a living history of people who were determined to be free.
It enriches the neighborhood. The African American experience fits in with our cultural history here because this whole neighborhood was African in the early years.
The African Meeting House is the oldest black church in the country. It was built by the free community in Boston. This was their civic center. This was their cultural center. It was their school before the Abiel Smith School was built.
Good morning, my beloved scholars.
There's a lot that we don't learn in school, like who Lewis Hayden was, William Cooper Nell.
Without this building, Boston isn't really complete.
It's almost a spiritual experience that one has in coming into the principal artifacts of the museum, which in fact are the buildings.
The museum is one of 25 historic sites in Boston, and we need your vote to win a grant, money for preservation.
Copper flashings wear out. They're good for 75 years. You get water infiltration. The old mortar, lime-based mortars wash out. We do have a situation now where we're getting water into the building through the foundation.
A grant from American Express and the National Trust for Historic Preservation will make all the difference.
Vote for the Museum of African American History.
When the Fugitive Slave Act comes around, this church becomes a centralized place where people can come and speak out against slavery. It becomes a place where the likes of Frederick Douglass begins to garner notoriety and acclaim. It's where his mentor, a man by the name of William Lloyd Garrison, speaks as well.
I'm Edith Griffin. I'm a great-great-granddaughter of William Lloyd Garrison. We had a family bicentennial in 2005. This museum is what made it as wonderful as it was.
My grandmother was born a slave.
The museum represents the universality of all these stories in one central place.
She told this wonderful story about how they were selling cookies to the Union soldiers. A man came up the hill, as my grandmother would say, on a white steed with the American flag saying, "The war is over, the war is over." And we just dumped our cookies on the ground.
History and activism are very important. We were struggling in the 60s to get people to understand that this was unfinished business here.
This place, Beacon Hill, the African Meeting House, and the school become extremely significant when you see the long line of people who have emerged through this institution to leadership in America.
I'll never forget the amazement of the kids. Many of them had never seen this part of the Boston area. And then to know that escaped slaves and then very hardworking free people built this neighborhood.
It's wonderful history right in your own backyard. Many people think that you have to go somewhere else in the world to find these kinds of treasures.
People all over the world,
vote for the Museum of African American History.
Vote.
Please vote. Vote.
Please vote.
Vote.
You people from Massachusetts, I'm from New Hampshire. You need to vote.
Please vote.
Vote para el Museo de African American History aquí en Boston y Nantucket.
Please vote.
Vote. I encourage you to vote
for the Museum of African American History.
Please vote.
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 If you have an email address, you can vote early and often, every day, once a day, from April 14 to May 17 for the Museum of African American History.